Hello, Mari.
Hello, Berwyn. It's very nice to see you in this state for a change. I was really interested because WERC, the Work-Based Education Research Centre, came to VU, and I was a bit surprised, I have to say.
Why it came here is because of the senior management within Victoria University, and it was a good opportunity to develop a centre which had a focus within the university on vocational education. I think the fact that it was a dual sector organisation made it really a fertile ground for vet research and the research that can be undertaken between the boundaries between vocational education and higher education. The centre will conduct research that informs the practice of vocational education and work-based education at VU and more generally. It will provide opportunities for staff, including VE staff, to develop skills in research into vocational education and work-based education. It will attract students, including education students and postgraduate coursework, into vocational education, work-based education. It will build the university's reputation by publishing and otherwise contributing to scholarship. It will lead the development of an international perspective on vocational work-based education at VU by developing links with a network of international partners. It will attract external funding to support its research on vocational education and work-based education, and it will use existing funding to provide valuation of and inform the delivery of VET. That basically was the intent, the objectives of the centre. VET research tends to be aligned to established research goals, which are set by NCVR through the Commonwealth and State and Territory Ministers of Education and Training. NCVR funding is tight. At a maximum you'll get 100,000. At a maximum they will fund 5 projects per year. And to capture the panel's thinking, you need to be aware of what is going to be saleable. So coming back to the projects that we've done, probably the one that has had the most significant impact is practitioner expectations and experiences with the Certificate for in Training and Assessment, which is the benchmark qualification for teachers teaching in vocational education and training. In that project, we talked to people who had recently gone through this benchmark qualification, Certificate for. We asked them early, 6 weeks after they'd completed their qualification. We then went back to them 9 months later and said, okay, reflecting on what you said previously and your experience with the qualification, doing the qualification, how well did it prepare you? And unsurprisingly, in hindsight, they were able to say, well, we thought it did, and they actually said we were very highly satisfied first up 6 weeks after finishing. But 9 months down the track, when they'd actually tried to use what they had learned in their own teaching and learning experiences, they found a whole series of gaps. One critical area, I think, is work that we did on assessment, validation and moderation. Validation of assessment was not previously done in vocational education generally. Good teachers did it automatically, but it wasn't systematically in place. There are huge issues around the quality of assessment in vocational education and training, and of course the quality of assessment has an impact on the quality of the qualifications and the credibility of the outcomes of the vocational education and process. So therefore we have industry complaining that we're not producing people who are competent. I don't think they know actually what is competent. What they actually mean is you're not producing people who can immediately hit the ground running in my business right here, right now. Which, if you think about it, is a pretty unfair sort of assessment of what's possible. My concern about the current approach is that TAFE itself is in deep distress in every state and territory. The public provider is the backbone of the vocational education and training system. I think the government is mainly concerned to cut red tape. That's a good excuse for cutting funding, cutting anything that's currently existing. I believe the Commonwealth Government will, in the end, after the release of the Federation White Paper, will give the majority of that back to the states and territories. And I think under those circumstances that the NationalVET System, which is much admired by people within Australia and also beyond, is definitely under threat. What worries me immensely is that we've sold this via AusAid to the Middle East, to India, to Southeast Asian countries, and to small developing countries in the Pacific as the way forward for vocational education training. They have our qualification frameworks, they have our quality assurance frameworks, they have our competency standards, or models of, and here we are getting up and walking away from it. But I'm glad I came. It was tough early. I found the culture of the organisation absolutely strange. I couldn't work out who was who. I said I would only come for 2 years. I've been here 6.5 years, so that probably says something, either that I'm too lazy to pack up and go home again, or that I have enjoyed myself. I've had a great work team. The people who have been in that team were committed to the cause and they were brilliant. They were happy to do whatever they were asked. They went over the top in many instances, as I grumbled about you not leaving at 10 o'clock because we still haven't written this report. I don't care if it's 10 p.m. I'm pleased. I think I'm also pleased that I've managed to actually do what these objectives set out to do.